Welcome back to Fire Dragon, and we're here today with a tutorial on how to create your own Minecraft server. We're gonna go over first the Bedrock server, and then we're gonna go over regular default server of the Java edition, and then we're gonna go over the BungeeCord and Spigot version of the Java edition of Minecraft. So we're just gonna open our internet browser, and all you have to type in is Minecraft. Uh, Bedrock server download, and it should be one of the first options. Second option, dedicated servers for Minecraft on Bedrock. Then it has these questions and answers, but then you go down to how do I download the dedicated Bedrock server software, and then it says click here. And then it says down there it'll include a guide, but you have to click agree and download if you're on Windows. This is all for Windows. Most of it's similar for Ubuntu and Mac OS, but Windows is better, and it's the one I have. So you're going to download it, and you're going to go to your desktop, and you're going to create a new folder, and it's very good to organize this stuff by name, starting off, so that way it's easier to read in the future. So we're going to go with Bedrock Server as the name of that, because that's what this is. And then we're going to rename this zip file. Well, no, we're not. We're not going to rename the zip file. We're just going to save the zip file. It's going to scan for viruses, and then we're going to go to our desktop and go to our Bedrock server. We're going to right-click it and extract all, or you can just click it, go to compressed folder options, and extract all. And then it's going to default be in the same folder that you did. So if you want it somewhere else, you can click browse and figure out where you want this to be, but I want it to be in the same folder as that, so I'm going to hit extract. It's going to take a minute because there's a lot of files in it. Alright, so it will automatically, at least it does for me, automatically reopen the window for you inside the folder, but we're going to stay on this one we already have open, and you can delete the zip file if you want to, but you don't have to. You can keep it for like you have a default basic one, so that way you don't, whenever the files you're messing with the new one, you can always revert back to the old ones, look at the old ones, whatever you need to do. We're going to rename this extract file, though, to Bedrock server, and then we're going to go inside it, and we're going to change, we're not going to change anything, we're going to open this bedrock server.exe, and that's how you start the server up. So it's going to start, well, it's an unknown thing, so I hit more info and hit run anyway, but allow access to Java, and this is going to default, what do you call it? Load up the world, generate the world is what I was looking for. And you can see right here, it's starting everything, and if you look at this IPv4 for supported, port is 19132. You're going to want to remember that, but we have a place to go to it later anyway. And then give it just a minute, and it will generate the world. And you'll see it'll generate a few new files, worlds, world templates, structures, and such. There were less files in there before we did that. And it has started the server for you. It tells you exactly what you're on. The default game mode is survival. The difficulty is on easy. We're going to go ahead and type in stop, S-T-O-P. Well, except for it did that. We're going to hit stop, and it's going to stop the server for us. So now what we need to do is, we have two options here. If you don't know what you're doing, like if you need more help, we have a Bedrock server how-to website link. So we're going to double-click that, and it's going to tell you how to use the dedicated server. It's going to tell you on the Windows and the Linux, and it's going to tell you the configuration and the files, which we are just about to go over anyway. I'm going to exit out of that and go right back into my files. And then we're going to go to the server properties. You want to open with Notepad++ or just regular Notepad, but ++ is easier to read sometimes, at least for me. So now you can change your server name. So this is just the name of the server. It's relatively unimportant, but it's also, it doesn't matter. You can name it whatever you want. So I have my Rove Industries is my server name. Game mode survival. If you want this to be a creative server, you change it to creative, or if you want it to be players that join to be in default adventure, so that way you have an adventure map world server, whatever, then you change that to adventure. But we're keeping it on survival because that's what we want people to be on. And then the difficulty, I prefer normal, because that's the normal amount. We don't want it peaceful because no monsters will spawn. That's no fun. Easy, a little too easy, and then hard is sometimes too hard, or you can do a hard if you want to. Allow cheats. You want to set this to true as the operator. This does not allow anyone to do cheats except the people that are operators. So if you're not an operator, which we'll go over in a minute, then you won't be able to use the cheats whether or not this is enabled true. Then you can change the maximum number of players. You can be literally any number. Doesn't matter. Online mode, you want that to be true because you want to be able to be there. Whitelist if you want to only accept certain people and you have to whitelist every person that comes on. But I prefer to just let anybody come on. It is true. Or, well, I want it to be false. Sorry. Then we have our server port, which is something to note. You may as well go ahead and copy this number, 19132. Right-click copy. Just keep it in your clipboard for future use. Port v6. I really don't know what that does. Unimportant to us. View distance. Unimportant, but also it allows you to see further inside the game. Tick distance. Unimportant. Idle timeout. This is how long, how many minutes before, like if the player is sitting around doing nothing, then how long will it take for them to get kicked off the server? If set to 0, players can idle indefinitely. Maximum threads, unimportant. Level name is Bedrock level, and that's going to be the world name. So this world's Bedrock level, that's just the name of the actual world. Not of the server, but of the world. Like if you were in single player and you created a world, that's what this name is. You can change it if you want to, and I think if you change it, it'll create a new world with the name that you changed. Level seed if you want to have a different seed or a specific seed. Default player permission level is either visitor, member, or operator. So every time a person joins, what are they going to be? A visitor? I don't know what that does, honestly. A member is you're actually on the server playing, and then an operator is an operator, which you don't usually want, unless you have whitelist or something. Texture pack required. This forces people to, I believe, buy resource packs that you already have set to the server. Just set that to false. There's no need to force people to do that unless it's part of an adventure map, and I'm not sure how that stuff works. But anyway, I'm going to move on. Content log file enabled. You really want to log errors so that way you can see what problems there are if you ever look at it. So set that to true. Compression threshold, unimportant. Server authoritative movement is true. Unimportant. Player movement score threshold, also unimportant. These last ones are just unimportant. Except for this very last one. So you probably want to set this to true. You want to correct player movement. So what this is going to do is if, this is usually for cheating, but it also fixes lag and stuff. So if your server is saying, hey, this is happening, this should be happening, it's going to force a player that is not following what should be happening. For example, if they're trying to fly, but the server is not on a fly mode, then it will force the player to not be flying, basically. That's essentially what it is. So now you want to make sure you file and save after you've messed with all of that. And we have our server done. You can open up that server again. All right, so once you've got your server started and running, go ahead and go back to it and stop it for the time being. Just type in stop stop, enter, and we're going to stop the server. Then we're going to open a new tab, and well, first we're going to go down to this little internet access network icon. We're going to right click it and open network and internet settings. All right, so when you're on properties, you're going to go to this IPv4 address, and you're going to take that address and go to your internet search bar and type in the first 3, and then to get to your router page, the last number can change some, but you're going to make sure that you go to your router page. And mine already knows my stuff, so I'm going to sign in. If you don't know your router web page number and stuff like this, then you're going to want to look up a very specific tutorial on YouTube for your router, because it's different for each router, and I can't tell you what it is for all of the routers. But whenever you are there, you're going to need to go to advanced and advanced setup and port forwarding. Yours again is going to look a little bit different, but you're going to need to go to port forwarding. Then you're going to go to add custom service. And you're going to type in the name. So mine is Bedrock Server for Minecraft. The external starting port is what you're going to paste in your 19132. Make sure the service type is TCP UDP, both at the same time. If you only have the option to do one or the other instead of both at the same time, you're going to have to do two separate port forwardings, one with TCP and one with UDP. Otherwise, it won't work. Then you don't need anything for the ending port, but you can just paste it in if you want to for the same, because you're only doing the one port. And then internal IP address, you're going to type in what we found in that network. So that way it goes to this specific computer. So I got my first three numbers there. What? How did that happen? That's weird. Anyway. Oh my gosh. Okay. So then you're just going to type in that one so it knows where to send the information or to take the information from. And then apply. And once that's done and saved, you can go reload up your Bedrock server. It's going to load it up. You can see, again, it's on 19132, and that's what we just forwarded. So we're going to go back to our Bedrock game. We're going to add a server. Bedrock server. IP address. What you're going to need to do is go to a web page. Whoops, not back to that. I don't know how that happened. So you're going to need to go to a new web page and ask what your external IP is. What? There we go. Then it should be this third link down here or similar, myexternalip.com. My external IP address is, and then you're going to take that and then copy it and then paste it directly into the server address spot. And make sure this port is the same as the one we've been setting up. Hit save, and then go into it and join server. Okay, so whenever you have added your external IP address to this and your port to there and saved it, then you're gonna click on it and click join server. It's gonna connect to external server. And while testing this thing has been very finicky. The connection to the Minecraft Bedrock server is a pain, I guess. So I shouldn't be able to go into game mode creative because I haven't opted myself. Yeah, I didn't think so. So it doesn't know the thing, so because I'm not an operator. So what I need to do is hit op fire. Oh my, I can't type. Fire Dragon 12222. All right, now I have been opt. You see, now I should be able to do /game mode creative. And yes, I'm in creative. So now you can use commands. /help will give you all the commands that you can do. And you hit enter to get to this, or T I think also does it. T, yeah. And then you can use the / button, and it'll give you weather, time, teleport, and set world spawn. But that is it for setting up the server. And like I was saying, it was very finicky. The connection to the Minecraft server was weird. I don't know if it's my internet or if it's Minecraft Bedrock servers themselves. But anyway, that is it for this video. And I'm going to leave a link down in the description to the next video, as well as an iCard. I'm going to do a whole separate video for the Java version of Minecraft, how to download that and the Spigot ones. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next episode of Fire Dragon.